welcome back. Let's begin the second module of this chapter, chapter 11, that is part 2 modernization. So here we are going to understand following topics.
Following are the objective of this module. Children, here we are going to understand first of all the political system of Japan and the Meiji Restoration time period, which brought the modernizing of the economy in Japan.
Political system in Japan. Children, we will understand here how Japan was ruled by several emperors around 12th century and brought the changes in the political system of Japan. Thereafter, we will see how the changes come across the Japan and it lead into the modern time period.
Let us understand the political system of Japan. An emperor had ruled Japan from Kyoto, but by 12th century, the imperial court lost power to shoguns, who in theory ruled in the name of emperor. From 1603 to 1867, members of Tokugawa family held the position of shogun. The country was divided into over 250 domains under the rule of lords called daimyo. The shogun exercised power over dominal lords and ordering them to stay at capital Edo, that is modern Tokyo, for long period so that they would not pose the threat. He also controlled the major cities and mines. The samurai, the warrior class, were the ruling elite and served the shogun and the daimyo. The late 16th century, three changes laid the pattern for the future development. 1. The peasantry was disarmed. Only the samurai could carry sword. This ensured peace and order, ending with the frequent war and previous century. Second was daimyos were ordered to live in the capital of domains and each with a large degree of autonomy. Third, the land survey identified owners and taxpayers and graded the land productivity to ensure the stable revenue base. The daimyo's capital became bigger so that by mid-17th century, Japan not only had the most populated city in the world, Edo, that is Tokyo, but also two other large cities, Osaka and Kyoto, and at least half dozen of the castle towns with the population over 50,000. This led to the growth of commercial economy and created financial and credit system. A person's merit became to more valued than his status. The vibrant culture blossomed in the town, where the fast-growing classes of merchant patronized theaters and arts. As people enjoyed reading, it became possible for gift writers to earn lively solely by writing. In Edo, people could rent a book for a price of bowl of noodle. This shows how popular reading had become and gave glimpse into the scale of printing. Japan was considered the rich because it imported luxury goods like silk from China and textile from India. Paying for these imports with gold and silver strained the economy and led to Tokugawa to put restrictions on export for the precious metals.
Meiji Restoration. To integrate the nation, once again Meiji government set up the new government policies and administration, where they set up the complete boundaries and the new territories in a modern way, where they set up in their administration taking of revenue and those money to improve the condition of the education and the administrative system. So let us understand more about the Meiji Restoration through this video.
From 1603 to 1868, Japan was a feudal society with a hierarchy of lords, samurais, and peasants. A military dictator or shogun ruled over everyone. The shogun was the member of Tokugawa clan, so this time was known as Tokugawa shogunate. Although Japan also had an emperor hanging around, the emperor had little to no power. The nation was closed off for foreigners. But in 1867, the 15th Tokugawa shogun resigned, and by 1868, the Meiji Restoration had begun. It was led by young samurai who saw the need for change. The emperor was restated as sovereign, and he took the name Meiji. Restoration sounds like you are going back, making things look how they used to look. Like old cars polished and swept up to look like new. However, the Meiji Restoration was total renovation of Japan. There were three main causes of Meiji Restoration. Number 1, the internal problem in Japan made ruling the country too difficult. The feudal system was decaying and factions were growing. Reinstating the emperor legitimized the movement by connecting it to an old tradition that encouraged everyone to unify. Second, outside pressure from foreign convinced the Japanese that they needed to modernize quickly. Japan watched China get crumbled and humiliated by the British for trying to prevent the Baptists from selling opium. Then, in 1853, United States Commodore Matthew Prey sailed into Tokyo Bay with 4 warships and massive guns. He demanded that Japan open itself up for the international trade. The Japanese had no weapons to match the Americans' firepower, so they had to agree with the Prairies' demand. Japan and its people did not like this feeling of helplessness. They saw that they needed to strengthen themselves to stand up to the Western powers. And with China humiliated, there was an opportunity to become new big dog in Asia. Third, Japan started building Kukutai, which means national essence. The idea of nationalism and the nation state was growing. A nation state is a country where the population shares a common national and cultural identity.
That's all in this module. Remaining topic we are going to understand in the next module. Till then, stay happy, stay safe.
Children, let us do some questionnaire. Dash were rulers in the name of emperors in Japan who enjoyed the rights of the kings and had power to control over cities. Kyoto, samurai, daimyo or shoguns. Next question is, what do you know about Meiji Restoration, abolishing Tokugawa rule in Japan 1868? It was the title given to the ruler. Meiji means enlightened ruler or all of these. Answer all these questions in comment. Thank you for watching.